Shalom, giving all praises to my Heavenly Father. His name is Yahweh, by Yeshem, Yahweh Shai, by Yeshem, Kadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders that rule well, in peace and many salutations to Yarkam that's coming in this truth, pushing this truth. I wanted to do a sit down, just kind of correcting um, information that I relayed at camp last Friday. Um, The information that I had stated that was only one cargo ship on the west coast that was delivering goods from China, which that was inaccurate. You know, that's incorrect. It was I think whoever um, you know published it was kind of exaggerating on the severity of these tariffs. Um, Now, the drop in tariffs, freight coming from China, is very significant. You know what I'm saying? And we will see uh, various industries being affected by this. Like, case in point, the trucking industry, which is already very fragile, is going to be affected by this. With no freight coming in, means, no work for various companies. No work for various companies means no work for various workers, man. So there's a hiring freeze in a lot of places. Um, and I can see, again, a lot of these smaller companies going bankrupt in a couple of months if things don't get rectified. And even afterwards, trying to play catch up. Because, in business, man, when you get behind 2-3 months, or 2-3 weeks, that could potentially set you behind for a whole year, even in your personal life. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely wanted to give accurate information, and not information that, you know, uh, is inflammatory, what I'm saying, and makes Jake panic, what I'm saying? So uh, let me get this before I begin grabbing these particular articles and videos that I have for you guys. Because this is what we see going on. There's a lot of rumors, things of that nature. You have to decipher between what's right and what's wrong by research. You know what I'm saying? Now this is Ezekiel 7:25. Destruction cometh, and they shall seek peace, and there shall be none. And this is times that we're living in. People are trying to live a normal life, but you know there's certain components that's not, you know, um, not they're not able to control, like, certain macro, which means like broad economic policies. You know what I'm saying? Like tariffs and things of that nature. That's going to affect the people. And a lot of people are going to be um, damaged, financially speaking, because of these tariffs, man. So seeking peace, people are trying to seek peace, but there ain't gonna be no peace. You know what I'm saying? Verse 26: Mischief shall come upon mischief, and rumor shall be upon rumor. And then shall they seek a vision of the prophet, but the law shall perish from the priests, and the counsel from the ancient. Right? So mischief will be upon mischief, rumor will be upon rumor. And this is times that we're living in, man. There's a lot of things that's going on all at once, right? That's going to cause this place, to go on a downturn, what I'm saying, to be in a recession, to cause chaos. And eventually this place is going to get shut down by martial law, because everything that we see transpiring, you know what I'm saying? And we as watchmen, we have to make sure that we are giving the Akyam and the Akwath, correct information, what I'm saying, for them ultimately to turn back to the Heavenly Father. And also, hey, hey, these various sit downs help people in their everyday lives, conducting themselves a certain way, and making sure that they on point when they go to work and things of that nature. It's not 2008 where you could. Well, I can't even say that. It's not 2000 and about 12 where the economy was all right and you could, you know, quit a job and get another one. We ain't no times no more. You got to be way more circumspect, especially because everything that's going on. Okay, so let me get back to this, man. This is I just had it pulled up, and the Joker just unpulled up for me. But this is according to this one page that I found I've been watching quite often in regards to freight news that I wanted to play a little bit. Now,
when you're starting out with your finances, you want to see.
Sorry about that. Now, after I play just a few minutes of it, I grab something that I got from AI Review. I start around the 2-minute mark, okay, and let it play out a little bit, and that'll be it.
Dropped off in the last few weeks. In an interview done by Gene Soroka, the executive director of the Port of LA, a consummate professional. I mean, just a man who knows shipping in and out, probably one of the most experienced Americans out there when it comes to shipping. An interview he did with Bloomberg TV, and he hits on a couple of key points that I think are essential. If you're new to the channel, hey, take a moment, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell to be alerted about new videos as they come out. Describe for us, let's take a beat, really frame it for us, how much volume has just dropped off in the last few weeks. Yeah, about a third of the import volume, which means give or take about 50,000 20-foot equivalent units gone off the arrivals coming in next week. From next week is when you expect to see this really hit. That's correct. And that matches up. The announcement's back on April 2nd, then on April 8th, a little bit of a change on everybody ex-China, Mexico, Canada. Gene did this interview 2 days ago, and when you looked at the data he had at that time, this week, May 4th and May 10th, was showing a 35% drop across the Port of LA. The most recent data coming out of the Port of LA, this is their optimizer, their signal optimizer report. They put this out daily. It shows you estimated arrival of vessels and, more importantly, the number of containers coming in. It's showing for this week, week 19, May the 4th to 10th, instead of a 35% drop, it's showing a 24% drop. But what it also is showing is that some cargo drops is coming in much later too. So we're seeing 13% for the week of May 11th to 17th, and then a 13.5% drop from May 18th to May 24th. So if we're looking at anywhere between a 13% and 35% drop in container cargo, that is obviously significant. I am not undercutting that.
So there's a drop from 13 to 35% in containment cargo. Okay, what is a containment cargo? What is a containment cargo? Okay. All right, let's look it up. Contain. Let me see. Cargo. Right. Let me see. Yeah, there. Containment cargo. Let's say port import. Right, containment during cargo imports refers to the method of systems used to safely contain and transport goods during the import process, particularly for hazardous or potentially dangerous materials. Okay, so how much can it how much? Let's see how much how much fits in the container, right? How much is in this? This is what you see on these trucks and stuff like that. This is what it's talking about, right? It's basically this right here, right? So what it says, like he said, over 52,000. How much weight? In weight, it's about 52, 831 pounds. Okay, that's a lot of cargo. And he's saying, like, again, over 52,000 of these uh, containers. You know what I'm saying? Haven't been shipped. That's a lot of materials I can. You know what I'm saying? A lot of materials. So yeah, freight is going to be affected by this, man. Right? Let's see here. A bit of this.
Have you ever been inside a container? Let's just go. So this is how a full container looks like. You can see this is a 20 high cube container, and it can take up to 200 to 300 cartons. It's kind of small size, but this is 20 GP, 20 high cube. You can also have the 40 high cube containers. It can take up to 1,000 cartons. This container can only take 300 cartons maybe. And what's
a smaller one.
What's interesting is the size of the containers, but also the weight of the container. So this is 20 GP, can take up to 10 tons, 10,000 kilograms. Yeah. The big ones, 40 high cube containers, can take up to 45,000 pounds. So it's just 25,000 kilograms. So it's pretty cool, huh?
Right. So those containers basically are not being shipped over here in a substantial amount. Okay. All right. Let's go back here. Hopefully it'll play. All right. Let's go back. Hopefully stop off where.
Growing your.
Sorry about that. Let's turn it down. All right. Goddamn. All right. Let's go back to it. Let this play.
Container cargo, that is obviously significant. I am not undercutting that or trying to anywhere between a 13% and 35% drop in container cargo.
13% and 35% of container cargo. Those what I just sold you. Okay? That's dropping. That's a lot of containers I can. Okay?
That is obviously significant. I am not undercutting that or trying to minimize that at all. However, it is important to put it into context. The Port of LA, this is the numbers for 2024. It shows you the tonnage of containerized imports coming into all the ports in the United States. At the very top there is LA. 51% of the containerized imports for 2024. If we're talking about a 13 to 35% drop in containerized imports coming into the Port of LA, notice we are not talking about the full amount coming in from China. I think that is really significant. That tells me that cargo from China is still flowing into the United States. And that's for a variety of reasons. Number one, cargo has already been booked. You can't turn it around. It's getting loaded on ships. It's going to come this way.
Let's talk about future contracts. You know, when you're dealing with cargo, when you're dealing with even oil, you know, they have future contracts to where they'll buy a certain volume out, you know what I'm saying, for X amount of years. You know what I'm saying? So these, you know, the cargo is still flowing in, but there has been a substantial decrease. That's what I'm trying to convey to you guys. Not what I initially said last Friday. Okay, so I just wanted to, you know, make sure I'm giving, you know, correct information for you guys. You know what I'm saying? And I won't bore you with this because I you know, this is something that I enjoy. I like, you know, dealing with transportation. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, just wanted to convey that, you know, yes, you know, the cargo in the transportation industry is taking a hit, but it's not as dire or extreme as what I reported Friday at camp. You know what I'm saying? So just wanted to make sure that I'm giving accurate information. Okay. But all this is going on, it will affect the economy, will affect prices, Like as I said, it's, 13 to 35%, that's a lot. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot. It's a lot of cargo. There's a lot of items. There's a lot of items that it's not going to be readily available. So we just got to see, how bad things are going to get. We know it's going to get bad, but can this be the catalyst to, martial law, famine? I don't know. That's why we brought out in Ezekiel, the 7th chapter, there's going to be rumors upon rumors, man. Okay. So, just wanted to, bring this out, a quick correction video on what I said last Friday. So, prayers edifying. Shalom.